So when can I start?
Right now.
I do that. Murderers, rapists, anyone who's violent, they do a lot of crimes, right? They either kill, they rape, as long as I said earlier. What do we do with them? We electrocute them, we shoot them in the face, or we hang them, asphyxiate. Whatever you do, we give them the ultimate end, right? But is that really the right thing to do in the society we live in today? In the end, they're still people, like you and me. We all have blood, we all have flesh, we all think. Maybe not as crazy as they are, but we still do the same things we do. What I'm going to talk about today is that in the ballot coming up edition is the proposition to either abolish or keep the death penalty. Now what the death penalty really does is that it sends those capital offenders to death. For example, there's many states that use this. There are also many states that don't have death penalty, like Alaska and Connecticut. But states like us, we do lethal injection, and I think also the gas chamber. But let's say states like New Hampshire, they still do firing squads, in Utah as well. Now, the only way to really get death penalty is usually murder or something more higher than that. But usually when they do murder, it's going to be a first degree as well as a special circumstance. For example, premeditated or attempted. Now, what makes this death penalty system so unique and unfavorable are two things. One is the high cost. The second one is just immoral in the times we live in. Don't you guys think so as well? Now, first off, I'll talk about the cost. Everyone has to pay. This comes out of our taxes. It comes out of you, comes out of you, even comes out of me. It kind of sucks, doesn't it, right? All of our tax money is going to go off killing people. And in the state of California, one inmate for annual cost is $90,000. Now, if you times that with all the guys in death row, that's 670. If you times that by 90,000, that equals up to $63 million. That's $63 million we just spent to kill people. Now, also, that's only including the trials. That's not the trials, I mean, only for them to keep them confined. If you include all the appeals, all the lawyers, all the trials, that totals up nationally $232 million annually. That money can go to other systems like education, or even helping the poor, other things, incentives, stopping double taxation, maybe find better clean meat. He's not here, by the way, so just ignore that. Afterwards, you got to know that all that money spent, why does it cost so much? The reason why is that since it's such a lengthy process, so much time and effort is needed to prove that they really did the crime or not. And that's where it comes into the second part when I was talking about how immoral it is. And the first thing, there's actually a lot of innocent people who are actually contained in death row. Since 1973, 140 people have been proven innocent through science. Now, those are the people who just lived. Imagine the people who died that were innocent. That could have been dozens or even more, same as 100, maybe 200. We'll know now. Now, as well, if you think about that, don't you feel like, let's say you got put in that example. Your friend killed somebody, but you got framed for it. Doesn't that suck? That means now you're on death row and you're going to die as well. There's no way to get out of it. There's a quote from Thurgood Marshall, who used to be a justice in the Supreme Court, agrees with me on saying that in judging whether or not a given penalty is morally acceptable, most courts have said that the punishment is valid unless it shocks the conscience, and sense of the justice of the people. Assuming knowledge and all the facts readily available regarding capital punishment, the average citizen would, in my opinion, find it shocking to his conscience and sense of justice. For this reason alone, capital punishment cannot stand. Now, as you think about it, we're killing people off almost left and right now. Don't you think that when new generations grow up, they're going to think, oh, okay, the government can kill people, so it desensitizes them to what murder and death really is. Do you want to have your kids grow up in a way that people dying everywhere is okay with you through like other sense of means, not natural causes. I mean like premeditated murder, execution, that kind of thing does not go right with me. Not only that, it's morally wrong, it's also unconstitutional. According to the 8th Amendment, it states that it's a cruel and unusual punishment. And now that many states actually that deny the death penalty also says it's unconstitutional. But it's also still in debate today, as we'll soon find out in November. There's also an example of what I mean about the 8th Amendment. This guy named Ronald Brown. He was sentenced to get executed through lethal injection in 2009. But due to a botched execution, they could not kill him properly, and he survived it. And due to that, they had to re-execute him in 2011. But because of that, his attorney stopped it, saying it's unconstitutional to try to execute someone twice. How is that usual and not cruel, right? That freaking sucks, man. You lived once. I think you should just stay and live. I mean, if you can survive it, man, you're good, man. What I believe is that instead of doing the death penalty, we should do a different implementation on a system. For example, life without parole possibility, depending on what kind of situation it is per person. Now, let's say, as I said earlier, if the annual cost is $232.7 million annually, if we were to change it to life with parole or without parole, it drops by a lot. Bad word, I'm sorry. But $11.5 million will be the total annual for everybody. That's almost a whole zero and then one whole number in the front, if that makes sense. What can you do with $221.2 million? You can do a lot of things, can't you? As I said earlier, invest in other things, education, students. We could do food, we could do housings, anything you want to do, businesses. And as well, as you can tell, nowadays, the death penalty does not act as a deterrent. Deterrent meaning it makes criminals scared to do the crime. And nowadays, the states who have the death penalty have higher murder rates, victims rates, rapes, sorry about that, and other types of crimes. According to the deathpenalty.org, and as well, it just keeps weakening our system. It's just leaking money out, going to other places, into the private sectors, losing money for everyone else. Now, if it doesn't pass in this ballot this year, that'll just show you everything I said earlier will be true, proven true. That means we'll lose more money, our revenue's going to go down, our economy's going to go down, we'll probably even go into more crimes, more people get locked up, overcrowding. That's not good for everybody, right? No one wants to go to jail unless you did the crime. Now, all in all, we should abolish it, vote for it, get rid of it. I know that all of us don't really like to be killed or want to kill someone else. So why do you want to pay for it? You're helping them kill. So you're part of it yourself. And that's why I believe you should vote against it. I totally forgot my train of thought. That was funny. Ready for a coffee.
All right, Judy, what did you think?
Overall, I think you did good. I think that your volume of your voice was good. I could understand everything you were saying. Your eye contact was good until kind of in the middle when you kept looking down because of your paper, but I'm sure you probably didn't want to just have it in your hands. Yeah, that's why you had it. So, I think you made really good points, and then also when you had the facts about how much money we would be saving by not killing them, and then also and then when you also said how much money we are actually spending if we do the
Whatever I said.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Yeah, if we execute them. Sorry. And then also I thought it was pretty funny that you get like when you get an audience laugh.